All throughout my life, I remember my mom telling me, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. But it wasn't just something she said, it was something she lived. Welcome to my special fireside chat, where we're going to talk about home and family and parenting and stories, but more specifically about love and lessons and legacy. Hi, I'm Melissa Holy, and it's so great to get together with you again for video number 3 in my series on navigating stress during COVID-19. I want this message to inspire you to see the bigger picture, to see beyond right now. And most importantly, I want you to see that even in these times of great uncertainty, we can find powerful love and lessons and legacy that will rise out of all of it. I hope you've had a chance to watch the first 2 videos in this series and to put some of the tools into action, because today we are going to build on those tools. We've talked about how we can control and influence ourselves, and now we're going to take a look at our inner strength and how it will powerfully influence others. Let me start by asking you an important question. Do you realize how much influence you carry in your life? The actual impact your life has on others, and specifically on those that God has placed around you to love and to teach. Maybe you haven't really thought about it much, but I can assure you that what you say and what you do and how you live goes far beyond just you and goes far beyond just today. Your everyday life and decisions, they ultimately affect others, what they say and what they do and how they will live their life. Your love and your lessons become a big part of your legacy. I will never forget the day that I was sitting in my office years back and I received one of the most shocking phone calls in my life. My mom was calling me from the side of the highway, telling me that her and my dad had just barely escaped their motorhome before it completely ignited into flames. Within minutes, that 34-foot motorhome completely burned to the ground. And she told me how the smoke started coming up over the dashboard, and they pulled over immediately. But there was no time to do anything but just get out. And then she told me how my dad ran frantically to unhitch and to try and save the car that they towed behind. He was racing to get it away from the motorhome as the fire was spreading so fast. And then they just stood there together and watched in horror as their dream motorhome became a raging wall of flames. Even the tires melted into the pavement in the severe heat. Without hesitation, our family got into action very quickly to make the long drive and to get to them as soon as possible. And we were so grateful to God that they were safe, but we were heartbroken at their traumatic experience and the loss that they suffered. Their motorhome was gone and all their belongings that were inside. Even with all of that extreme loss, what I found the most remarkable was the visible and unshakable faith and courage that my parents had in handling that whole shocking event and all that followed. It was really a testimony beyond words. It was a powerful display and a life lesson that would forever be ingrained in me. The next morning, we all headed over to the yard where the motorhome had been towed, and it was a horrifying sight to see that 34-foot vehicle reduced to a twisted metal frame that was filled with ashes. And yet, even in that time of tragedy, God did a miraculous thing. Pulled out from that smoldering wreckage was a tiny little box that somehow had survived the flames and the massive heat. And that box held something so precious to my mom. something that she thought was lost and gone forever in that fire. She wiped away the ashes and slowly opened that box to find the wedding bands from both of my grandmothers that my mom wore on a special necklace. Today, I hold these precious rings now, but instead of 2, there are now 3 after losing my mom in 2016. To think that this wedding ring was on her finger for 63 years, through all the good and bad, through every hug and every tear. That's why it is so dear to me. These rings are a priceless family treasure to me. They represent 3 strong, beautiful women. But even more, I carry inside of me the wealth of their wisdom and their love and lessons and the legacy that each one of them left behind. It all lives on as I continue to be inspired and influenced by their lives every day. And even though we were generations apart, their strength is now my strength. As you go through shaky or uncertain periods in your own life, your children will see and remember who you were in those tough times. God has given us a great responsibility in helping to lead the hearts and minds of our children. And I believe that these difficult times right now, these are some of the most powerful legacy building moments that we may ever experience in our lives and in our family. This year, we have been given an abundance of time at home with our family. And the question for all of us is, what have we done with it? These challenging times are prime training ground, and they present your greatest opportunities to teach and to listen and discuss and model powerful values and important life lessons. You can prepare your children to meet life stronger and to feel capable when life is hard. You can show them how to find simple joy in this complicated world and how to celebrate blessings even in the darkest moments. This is a time to build up their resources and a time for planting seeds of strength and resiliency like never before. When you can see the bigger picture, your daily routine things and attitudes and actions, they will all take on a much higher meaning. You'll begin to see and realize just how much your response to everyday life events, how much it deeply matters, because it will all play a role in your history and in your family history. Every one of us has one individual life opportunity to make our mark and to leave our legacy in the lives of those we love. Will your legacy be one of living fearfully or grounded in courage? Will you model clear thinking and taking a hold of every opportunity to get creative and to lead the way in strength, to stay strong, and to plant seeds of grit? The way you stand and face your challenges in life is a key part of the legacy that you build. Are you willing to do what God has called you to do in this hour and in this season? To trust Him and to stand in faith? Because when you do, I believe that He will give you the wisdom to show your children day by precious day how to run their race and how to finish strong. What you show your children today will be their stories of tomorrow. And it is your influence and those stories that can and will shape generations to come and will, in fact, become your legacy. Today, I encourage you and I challenge you to really take the time to reflect on this amazing, incredible opportunity you have before you. In the midst of all of these stressful, changing times, you have the opportunity to powerfully, wonderfully, and forever influence the lives of others. I hope you will take the challenge and let your love and lessons and legacy flow. It has been so great to be with you again today. Feel free to get in touch with me anytime for resources that will help you in building your strong foundation of faith and courage and grit. You can find me online at melissaholy.com. And make sure to watch for my final video coming up called The Strength of a Woman, a message that I know will energize and recharge you. Stay encouraged, stay strong, and I will see you next time.